everybody, Daniel again. So I've been thinking for a while that I need to get a trailer for the mountain for ATVs, a side-by-side, or a Jeep, or anything. The ones we've been getting have been the plastic ones, and they've been kind of okay. They've worked for what we needed to, but they really just haven't been exactly what we needed. So I've been looking around to try to weld up my own, doing the math on it, trying to figure out and make a plan for it. But I end up stumbling upon this. So after doing a lot of research, doing the math on it, it was cheaper for me to go and find the this kit. I found this at Northern Tool. It was $369 for this kit, which is a two-part kit, this is the frame and everything, the tire wheel combo, and then there's the axle and the hubs probably in that one. Haven't opened them up yet, so I don't know exactly what's in what. But I do know those street tires that are on there are very, very narrow, so I also added to that. It's the same bolt pattern. This is a 4-on-4, and this is the same bolt pattern, but it's about 4 times as wide, and so I added another $170 to it. And these tires, I think, will work a whole lot better for the mountain for trail. So this actually does have a sliding leaf in the back. This is 1,000 pounds. Has a sliding leaf in the rear. So it should give it a little bit of support. I'll air these down as well, which help keep some of the load into the trailer as opposed to getting it bounced out as we're going down the trail. So I'm going to put this together and see where we land today. So I've got it unboxed. My intent is, for this video, is to put it together exactly as intended. So I'm not going to do any modifications on it, so you'll see how it's supposed to be. And then my following video is when I'm going to go back and I'm going to start making those modifications to change it so it'll be more trail oriented versus street oriented. It is a bolt together kit. I did not say that earlier. It is a bolt together kit. It is by Irontron. Like I said before, it did come from Northern Tool. And it is a 2-part box, so if you do go out and get this, remember to get the other part because you won't be making much of a trailer without all the other parts. I was incorrect. It is not just the axle in the other box. It was all the other pieces. It is a street legal kit, like I said, so there is a VIN stamped on this. So you do have a VIN on this, and it comes with a title in the box, which is kind of funny, but it did come with a title. I guess I didn't pay attention. I wasn't assuming it. Tire and wheel combo, it is a 12-inch tire, so it stands a little taller than the other one, but the new tire that I plan to put on there is a lot wider. Like I said before, these are slider style springs, so it's fixed here and it moves around and it has some articulation back here by basically sliding on the frame there. These are about 1/8 of an inch thick, 1/16 of an inch thick. They're fairly substantial. I was impressed. So those will be staying on the build once I get past this. This is probably, because it's a very light box, I'm guessing that's a lighting kit. I have no intentions of putting that on. It'll probably just be something that gets ripped off, and I don't plan to take it on the street. There's the box of parts, or the fastening hardware, and the rest of the frame pieces. So with that, I'm going to, like I said, for this video, it's basically how to put this kit together is really for the intention. So I have the base completed and I put it together. So there's a bolt that goes here, and then there's one that goes on the inside in here. So they're 17 millimeters, so keep that in mind. It took me a little while to find that. Most of my kits of box end wrenches did not have. They skipped from 16 to 19, oddly enough. One thing to note, I do this for just good measure once you start putting it together, is assemble it loosely with all the nuts and bolts in there, and then go back through and find square by measuring this corner to this corner, and then this corner to that corner, get them the same distance through there. It'd take a little time to get them straight, and then what I did is I tied in all 4 corners. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I went back and then I tightened up the center too, and then it says flip it over upside down. You can't do that. You're going to have to flip it on its end, basically, to get underneath into this bolt right here, this bolt and the nut, and get the nut to the nut on that side. You're going to have to send it up on the end. So you're not going to be able to just do it. It just says flip it over. That's not going to happen. So standing up on the end, you'll be able to get to it that way. So with that, it says also that this is the bottom. So when you have the flat part here, as you can see, that's the flat part. It comes out. That flat part, they designate this as the bottom, which makes sense because it's how it's put together. And then the tongue, or not the tongue, but the pull part of the tongue, which will go across through here, will go from there to there and it'll extend out that way. It'll get detached underneath the frame, and then the rest of the components will as well. One other point to note is, although this is a bolt-together system, what I will be doing is I will be going back and sanding off the paint, and then I will be welding all these points to give it a little more strength, but not in this video. This video is simply putting it together as directed. So one other point to note here, so those are fairly straightforward. I'm putting the nut on the bottom side. Maybe I'll have to switch it around later. I don't know. They weren't very specific about it. So the next one, I'm pretty certain I'm going to have to put the nut side down, because you're going to have this configuration right here. This is for the slider. So you're going to be in this configuration. In that configuration, this goes over top of it like that, so that's going to get bolted like that. So I don't think that you're going to have any more room. So basically it slides over it. What you'll do is the spring will rest and run across there like that. So I would imagine it's going to be that way for the rear, so I'm going to go ahead and put it together that way. So, yeah, what I did was incorrect. You will have to just do the tolerances. Having the nut on the top here, not right, because it's gonna hit the spring. You're gonna have to have the bolt head on the top and then the nut coming from the other side to make that work. One other thing for me is on the springs, because the tires are going to be out here, you can see this. So I'm going to put the bolt head out there. It doesn't really say so, but I'm going to put it that way just because I think it'll look a little better than having a bunch of exposed threads on the other side. I don't know if you really could make out what I was doing before, but there's a pin that sits right here. As you see, there's a pin there. There's a hole on the bottom side of that. So I was just trying to line those two up so that it'll fall in there. And on this side, there's another pin. It'll fall. And it kind of goes right in there like that. These U-bolts go directly over top, as you imagine, just like that. Now I'm going to reach and get these on here. You take off the castle nut. Per the directions, you just slide it onto the axle, to the spindle. Flat washer on, castle nut back on. This is going to seat up here. There's a rubber gasket here that's going to seat up on that shoulder there. So I'm rotating, and you see how it locks up. There's a better tool for this. This is just what I have. Kind of free spins there. We're basically free spins. That's it. And then you find where the hole is, right there. So apologies, I did not hit record on that last step. It's not very hard. These fenders are secured by one bolt there, and I basically did it to both sides, and I flipped the thing over, and then I had to flip it over to go do that. At this point, I'm just going to put on the receiver on this. And I am done. Right in here, there's two bolts. what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to take a box end wrench in here, and then that'll do the front two. I'm going to do this one on this side, and this one's just to keep it from rotating. This one on this side, and tighten up both of those. This will keep it so that I can get a nut in the back, a bolt in the back, and then you got to do the top two. The reason I'm doing this is then I can get my wrench in here to do both of these first, and then work from the front to the back. So you'll attach the short bolts in there. They tell you what the description is. They do provide the safety chain with this, and that will go through the back. Make the chain the same length. Take one of the links like this, run it through. You're going to have this bolt go through and catch that link like that. So here is the finished trailer. It didn't take that long. It took me about, I would like to say, maybe about 2.5 hours to put it together. A lot of that was running around trying to find the parts that I needed, the tools that I needed. So this is the base. Like I said, this is exactly how the manual told you to put it together, minus the light kit. I did not put the light kit on here because I have no intentions of running it on the highway, so I'm not going to do that. With that being said, the things that I do want to do is this is fairly flimsy, and I say flimsy, it's only secured by one bolt here and one bolt here, and there's nothing backing it. I know for a fact that this is going to get beat on pretty good, so what I'm going to end up doing is taking some bar stock, something like this. This is, I think, 3/8 bar stock. And I will weld that onto there and weld it to here to provide basically a way to slough off any material that's coming through there. And then I'll do the same thing through here, but I'll probably use my it's an 1.25 by 1.25. I think it's 0.095, I believe. I forget off the top of my head, but it's the same material I'm gonna make all the sides with, but I'm gonna run that from there to here as well, to do that, to have the same effect. I don't want any sharp corners to catch on anything, so I'm going to do that to there. That'll also make this more robust. And on the inside, I'm going to put another piece in here, a bracket in here to make that stronger. And like I said, I'm going to weld up all these points through here. And on the back, I will do the same. Is I'll take a piece, if I'm backing up for any reason, I'm going to have a piece that goes from there to weld to that point to that point. And it won't be much, but it will be at least enough to keep things off. And I'll probably weld some metal in there. Maybe make that. Those are the 12-inch tires. These will be the much larger tires. Don't know what I need to do, but my concern or my thought will be that I will have impact between this space through here, right through here. You can see this space that we have right between here, between this point and here, because it's inset a lot more on these wider tires. But what I will do in that point, in that event, is I will need to shorten this frame and shorten it in. What I will probably end up doing is cutting maybe an inch out of this side, and maybe an inch on this, inch here, inch on this same side, cut it all the way across. So you cut all three of these segments, cut all three of those segments, cut out an inch exactly at the same distance, and then weld it back together. And what that'll do is it'll provide the, and then I'll have to move over where it connects on the axle as well. So that should be fairly straightforward to do, so I can shorten it in or slide it in so that now the wider tires will fit on it. They are substantially lighter as well, I've noticed. These tires are pretty heavy. Although these are much wider, there's a lot more rubber, a lot less steel, so it makes them a lot lighter. So as you can see, side by side, they're a lot more robust. So step one is assemble it. I've done that. Step two will be to continue on the fabrication. That'll be on another video. Once again, thanks for watching. I really enjoyed making the video. I have a few more coming up on this. This is just getting started on this trailer. I'll make it a lot more trail-worthy here very soon. And as it stands right now, it's a nice frame to build off of, or a nice base to build off of. So as of right now, I'm excited to get started on my next little project. Hope you are too. Give me a like and subscribe, and you'll get more videos like this. Thanks, and have a great day.